Aloha. You're watching F5 On Demand. I'm Technical Marketing Manager Peter Silva. We're here in San Francisco for RSA 2013. And you might recognize this guy. It's Jeremiah Grossman. He's the founder and CTO of WhiteHat Security. Jer, thanks for joining us again. It's always great to see you.
Thanks so much for having me, Peter. What's up today?
And it seems like we always run into each other around this time of year with a camera following us. What gives?
That seems to be the case. We always seem to talk about web security stuff because things are always changing.
Absolutely. So I was reading recently that WhiteHat recently secured another round of funding. Congratulations. Yep. And it's for some expansion type activities. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sure. We've been growing really fast over the last 5 years, and now we're going to grow just that much faster. So it's 31 million, all in, maybe 48 net. So we got a lot of cool things to do, a lot of software development, a lot of product development, and international sales expansion.
Nice. Very nice. You know, one of the things I've been pretty much interested in recently, I wanted to really ask you about, were these mobile apps. Then everybody has their mobile app and they're pushing people to do transactions and financial stuff through those. But I've also been reading that there have been a number of vulnerabilities found in some of these mobile apps, cross-site scripting vulnerabilities, and in many ways they're just these, kind of mashed in websites, web pages, kind of shoved into these apps. Are these apps also susceptible to the same things that many web apps are susceptible to?
That's a really good question. So we're seeing an explosion of mobile apps, nowhere near as many web apps. There's a lot of mobile applications out there. And so they are susceptible to many of the same things web applications are, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, but a whole host of client-side issues because now we're storing lots and lots of client-side data on the mobile device itself. So that has to be taken into consideration. So right now, what's interesting about the mobile space, it seems to me when you assess these mobile applications, it's about where web security was in like the 2003, 2005 timeframe. So it's kind of behind, and that we're going to suffer that. So we have to start taking proactive steps now.
Do things like WAFs, though, still protect against some of those vulnerabilities? Or as you were saying, it's more client-side, so it's really what's built into the app itself?
Well, we've got two classes of attack. There's the attacks that affect the server, and there's the attacks that affect the client. On the server side, web application firewalls do have a place, and they can make a lot of difference. On the client side, you're talking about encryption, you're talking about storage of sensitive data and things, and there are WAFs not so much, so then we need good software security best practices.
Right. And then last year at this time, you had just finished your TED Talk about the Hack Yourself First, was it? And I was sort of curious to follow up if you found that many of these companies are trying to infiltrate themselves before the bad guys, and if what the kind of pickup has been since your talk.
Yeah, hack yourself first. It was kind of a catchphrase that people took on, and I'm pretty proud of that. So there's been, maybe that's one of the reasons why WhiteHat kind of took off like that. So we're helping companies hack themselves first. But the other one that I'm really excited to see is a lot of companies offering bug bounty programs for their websites, like Google and Mozilla, Facebook, and even Etsy, an online retailer, offering bounty programs. They're saying, hey, come and hack us, find the vulnerabilities, let us know, and we'll pay you for the exercise. That's phenomenal.
Right, and maybe you can get some of those, maybe, some of the bad guys that, might be in it for the money, maybe some of them will come out of the dark and start doing it for good, even if the bounties are worth it, right?
That's always the hope. So there's people going to be testing your websites, finding vulnerabilities, and the only question organizations have to ask themselves is, am I willing to pay a little bit of money to at least get some off the market? The bad people are going to do bad things, and that's going to continue on, but we're going to make ourselves a little bit more secure using the talent that's already out there.
Sure. And then finally, I was curious, every year we see both new vulnerabilities coming out, new threats, but also these old standbys that continue to rear their ugly head. And I was curious from your perspective, maybe one vulnerability that's an old timer that's been around for a while, that there's solutions in place to fix, that continues to be a problem, and then maybe one new one, something that people might not be aware of to maybe keep an eye out for in the coming year.
Sure. So I guess the web security vulnerabilities, they never really go away. The cross-site scripting, the SQL injections, they're always there. So cross-site scripting, that seems to be steady state. About half of the websites are vulnerable to this issue, but SQL injection that causes us all this damage, Christmas Day 98, first time we learned about it, but it's obliterating our sites. And there's nothing new about it. We know everything about it. We know how to fix it. But that one actually seems to be declining. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, it was 17% of websites. Now it's down to like 7. It's not even in our top 10 anymore. Wow. So those are coming. So then every year I also do the top 10 web hacking techniques, brand new attack techniques that affect websites, web browsers, proxies, and things like that. And those are always new attack techniques. So sometimes they impact intranet hacking using the browser. Sometimes they affect SSL. but we never really know. It's kind of a look forward rather than a look back.
Sure. I really appreciate your time, Jeremiah.
My
It's
pleasure.
always great to catch up with you. So how can people find you guys online?
WhiteHatSec.com. You can follow us on Twitter at WhiteHatSec or me at Jeremiah G.
Excellent. Always fun. So for Jeremiah with WhiteHat, I'm Peter with F5 Networks. Thanks for watching.